President Donald Trump plans to hold a second summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two leaders agreed to meet in Budapest, Hungary. Trump believes they're making great progress to bring the war in Ukraine to an end. He also meets tomorrow with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. The diplomatic push represents just one of Trump's foreign policy challenges. White House Correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen.
Veronica, good evening to you. President Donald Trump says U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet with a Russian delegation next week to advance the talks. Meanwhile, the president also confirming that he's authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations in a different country, Venezuela.
As the U.S. military carries out a series of deadly strikes against alleged drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean, destroying at least 5 boats since early September and killing dozens, President Donald Trump lays out his reasons for taking covert action in Venezuela.
Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America. They came in through the border. They came in because we had an open border policy. And as soon as I heard that, I said, a lot of these countries, they're not the only country, but they're the worst abuser. And the other thing are drugs. We have a lot of drugs coming in from Venezuela. And a lot of the Venezuelan drugs come in through the sea, so you get to see that. But we're going to stop them by land also.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro lashed out at the record of the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency in various conflicts around the world, especially in Latin America. At one point, President Maduro spoke in English, making this appeal.
No war, just peace on the people of the United States. Please. Please, please, please.
A former Colombian ambassador to the U.S., now running for president, says both Venezuelans and Colombians would celebrate if there is regime change in Venezuela, adding,
Put it this way, Venezuela has become a narco state. They have narco-communism in the head of Maduro. He leads the cartel de los Soles. And that's very bad news for Latin America.
Asked by a reporter if the CIA has the authority to take out Maduro.
Oh, I don't want to answer a question like that. That's a ridiculous question for me to be given. Not really a ridiculous question, but wouldn't it be a ridiculous question for me to answer? But I think Venezuela is feeling heat, but I think a lot of other countries are feeling heat too. We're not going to let this country, our country, be ruined.
And on the north lawn of the White House, I asked the press secretary about Maduro's future.
Nicolas Maduro, does President Trump believe, Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, does President Trump believe his days are numbered there?
I think President Trump believes that Nicolas Maduro is an illegitimate president leading an illegitimate regime that has been trafficking drugs to the United States of America for far too long, and we're not going to tolerate it.
Now, the United States is offering a $50 million reward for the arrest and conviction of Maduro. Meanwhile, Maduro recently wrote a letter to Pope Leo, asking the Holy Father for his help in maintaining peace in Venezuela. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.